So last week we talked to a listener who 10 years ago she was in his high school class. Now, she lost a little weight. She looks a little different. She
didn't recognize her.
No. She goes by her, I guess her formal name. Yeah, her formal name. She already hit a home run with him, we'll say.
Right. And then he was like, wants to take her on a proper date.
Yeah, kind of going a little, backwards first, but that's fine.
Sure. And so she was like, well, I should probably tell him, right? If we're going to possibly maybe start dating, you can't go too many dates in before you reveal this little fun fact, past connection.
Right.
And we were kind of like, all right, well, maybe you could just say, like, you stumbled upon it too just recently. Like, oh, I thought you looked familiar, and I looked it up, and oh my gosh, you were my teacher. Hey.
Yeah. All right, so we got an update. You ready?
Yep.
All right, she says, hey, Ben and Kelly, thanks for the follow-up, and thanks for all the suggestions from your listeners. I liked several suggestions, but decided when we went out that I would casually bring up that I think he taught at my high school and kind of take it from there.
Okay.
I felt ready.
Yeah.
Well, he picks me up, and before we got 50 feet, he asks if I want to listen to music.
Okay.
I say, sure.
Uh-huh.
And he turns it on 99.7 DJX. And I'm like, oh, crap.
I'm sure, though, it's going to be fine. It's fine, right?
Wait until you hear the next sentence. She writes, guys, then he asks me if I listen to Ben and Kelly. I am freaking out.
Oh, no, you say no. Oh, you say no. Never heard of them. They sound hideous. Oh, God.
She says, I'm still holding out hope that he didn't hear my group therapy last week. I'm praying to whoever will listen to take me from this awkwardness. The silence between his question and my answer felt like years.
What'd she say?
She says, I couldn't just unbuckle my seatbelt and dive out of a moving car. So I compose myself and say, yeah, I've heard of them. Like, duh, who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Super famous, yeah.
This girl is funny. He says he's listened for years and starts talking about how he loves hearing the phone taps and how they used to scare people awake with chainsaws.
Oh, gosh, he knows us well.
I know where this is going, but somehow I can't stop it. I'm nervously waiting for the other shoe to drop. Then he says that he's always wondered if the group therapies are real.
Nope, they're all fake. All of them, every single one of them. Not true at all. Not based in reality ever.
and just lets it hang in the air.
Oh my God.
She writes in all caps, I am dying.
I'm dying too.
I say, yeah, I think so. Then he asked where I went to high school, and it was over.
I'm homeschooled. I was homeschooled. Didn't go to a school. What's a school?
I thought, I'll tell him, and he'll pat me on the head, drop me back at home, and give me detention.
Oh, she's hysterical.
So I tell him, and he says, oh, what a coincidence. I teach there. And gives me a wink. I start cracking up. It's a combination of nerves, awkwardness, and the comedy of it all coming together.
Crying.
He laughs too and says, it's okay. He understands and says he didn't recognize me at first, but when he heard the radio, he looked me up and figured it out.
Oh my gosh. We're to blame.
How cringe. My gosh. She continues. Then he says, don't worry about it. And he'd still like to see me if it's not too weird for me.
Oh, good. good. Yay. It's not, right? It's not, right?
I told him I do, and we had a great night and weekend together. Honestly, he made it really easy to forget that he was my teacher because I genuinely was learning more and more about him as a, quote, real person and loved it.
Oh, yay!
Thanks for giving me the most awkward icebreaker in the world, LOL.
That's one of my favorite stories of all time. One of my favorites of all time.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, I hope he's listening to this, too.
I know. She's like, I couldn't unbuckle my seatbelt and just dive out of a moving car. Listen, there's always an option. All right. Well, hey, thank you for the update. And I'm glad that it, despite it all, it kind of worked out. So
I think that was the best way it could have turned out.
I mean, as soon as he said you listen to Ben and Kelly, she's wanting to literally open the door and just dive out of the car. Oh, shoot. Got a text from a listener.
We've all had a moment like that, though, right? We've all had a moment like that.
Got a text from a listener that said this was going to happen eventually with one of your group therapy sessions. Yep. Listen, I guess it would have.
We always just think that there's maybe 4 or 5 of you listening. That's it. Like, the danger of that happening is very small, right?
Yeah, it's super small. So anyways, all right, thank you for the update. Hey, and I hope it goes well, and just keep us updated. I think that's awesome.